Hello everyone, and you are almost welcome to Tutorials Point. Well, this entire video is going to actually discuss a very important and interesting topic which will actually help you a lot to be very successful in your interview. That is right. Well, interview is something that we all face day in, day out, don't we? Of course we have to, just in case we have to excel in our career. And because we have to face our interviews, we definitely need to be aware as to what are the things that we should actually be very careful about, or the things which can actually help you to ace your interview just like a pro. So that you just sit there and you start, and the interviewer actually gets fully convinced as to whatever you are trying to portray, right? So, well, we all know invariably every interview starts with an introduction, right? And because it starts with an introduction, in this video we are going to discuss as to how do you give your best introduction so that actually whatever you are saying makes a lot of sense to the interviewer, and you are bound to be successful no matter what interview you give, right? So, well, without any further ado, let's go ahead. Okay, so first and the foremost thing, why have you actually applied for a particular job role? Obviously because you felt that maybe your qualification or your skills or your passion or your interest synchronized with that particular position, right? Well, no matter what the reason is, while you are actually, giving your introduction, how do you design it so that whatever you say actually fits in perfectly according to the role that you have applied for? Well, undoubtedly, your introduction should actually be tailored according to the role and the company. Well, no doubt about it, because we all know that every particular role requires particular set of skills which you definitely need to be very good at, and along with that, any particular company wherein you are applying actually has a unique way of working, right? So along with the skill sets which you have, you also should be able to fit in the environment of that company. Well, precisely why you need to tailor your introduction in a way so that whatever you are telling about yourself fits in very accurately according to the role or the job position that you applied for, along with the particular way in which your company works. Well, obviously any interviewer sitting there definitely wants to only and only choose you if you are a perfect fit, isn't it? So if you can only be a perfect fit if you, along with your skill sets, you also are able to fit into the environment of the company wherein you have to work. So don't forget that next time you give an introduction, don't just go ahead and say, okay, I am this, I love that, this is what I love to eat, this is what I love to do. Well, not really. That is not actually what the interviewer is looking for. The interviewer is looking for something that just fits in to that job profile. So don't forget to actually portray your qualities, but in a way so that they are fitting into that particular job profile. For example, you might want to say that, my name is so and so and this is my qualification. Well, I'm a kind of person who actually is very passionate about anything that is given to me, to anything that I love to do, right? Or any responsibility that is given to me, I'm very passionate about completing it, because I'm a kind of person who doesn't like to delay my work. So when you are saying this, though you are telling very casually about yourself, but what have you portrayed? Well, you're right, you have portrayed that you are a person who is very passionate about work and definitely loves to complete all the responsibilities within time. So if you are able to portray this, well, ta-da, you're done. So definitely it's a green signal for the interviewer that you are a right fit for that particular role. Well, this was just an example. No matter what you are trying to tell about yourself, it should actually be in sync with the role that you have applied for, and along with that, that particular environment of the company wherein you are going to work. Okay, well, you actually went on telling about yourself. But don't you think that no matter how much you are trying to say, you actually have to keep it professional? No matter how much the interviewer is trying to probe you, or no matter how much he or she is trying to be friendly with you, you definitely have to remember that ultimately you have to be professional, because you never even know, the interviewer might also be testing, the kind of change of emotions which you go through, and how quickly do you change your emotions, or are you a person who is very, very stable minded? Well, so because you want to portray that you are a person who is very stable in his or her mind, so definitely whatever you say, it should be within well professional limits, right? You cannot just go off track, because ultimately it is not a kind of a date that you're having with the interviewer. It's a proper professional conversation just to check that whether you are a fit for a particular role or not. So it is it is an amazing thing to be yourself, but at the same time, don't forget that professionalism is also something which can actually help you a lot to actually clear the interviews, right? Okay, well, all said and done, do you really think that without passion anything could be complete? Well, not really, because passion is something that actually glosses whatever you say or whatever you do. Because without passion, do you really think that whatever you say would create an impact? Well, not really. No matter how heavy words you used or how well scripted your introduction is, if there's no passion, it would just sound very robotic. And if it sounds robotic, definitely it won't be as convincing or as impactful as it would be if it had passion in it. So don't forget to inject passion in no matter what you say. Well, this is something which you cannot, you might as well get some scripted dialogues, but passion is something which you just cannot, make it, you cannot fake it, to be more precise. So it is something which just happens, because whatever, if you are actually very, very passionate, and if you love that kind of job that you're interviewing for, so passion is something which it will automatically follow no matter what you're saying, right? It is actually going to reflect in your eyes, in the way you speak, in the way your voice is, right? It is those emotions that is going to reflect if you actually are really, really passionate about a particular job role that you are applying for. And if you have that, well, you are good to go, because passion is something which definitely, very, very instantaneously creates or forges a bond between you and the person with whom you are talking, right? So all said and done, don't forget that passion is also something which is going to be a perfect garnishing or a perfect topping of your perfect topping along with your qualification and your skill sets. Okay, well, definitely being passionate, being professional, describing yourself, all of that kept in mind, but you just keep in mind that you have to be very apt, because ultimately the interviewer is not sitting there just to interview you, right? There is a lot of you never even know what is on that person's timetable. And not only that, if you're being succinct, you're also portraying that you're a person who values time, and along with that is a person who talks as needed and is not someone who just goes on blabbering for the sake of it. Well, not really, because being succinct or being apt in whatever you are saying is something which actually portrays a lot of professionalism, right? So don't forget to be succinct no matter what, or no matter whatever you want to say, but it should be very, very apt according to the the environment wherein you're getting interviewed. Okay, well, last but not the least, what is left? You know everything, you just left to practice, because without practice, no matter how much you learn, it is not going to manifest. So don't forget to practice no matter what interview that you're facing, but just keep this thing in mind that practicing will definitely make it very, very fine and well refined, right? So without practicing, it might just be in your head, but you might not be able to put it forward as you wanted to. So after seeing this video, what is the first thing that you're going to do? Of course, just go in front of the mirror, and whatever is your next job interview, just imagine that happening and imagine that you're answering it. And just see yourself in the mirror. If you feel that you are way too impressive, well then, good to go, you're good to go. But if you feel that there is something which you need to change, it's never too late. Just go ahead. Thumbs up for that. Well friends, all the best to all of those who are going to face an interview sometime near or maybe in future. Keep learning with Tutorials Point and Tutorix. Have a good day.